Welcome. I'm so excited that you're here today because, as always, I have an incredible guest star, and I can't wait for y'all to meet. Hey, Kara, how are you?
Hi.
So, Kara is incredible, and she's going to tell you all about her incredible book coming out here soon, and we're going to just have a lot of fun. But before we do that, I want you to be involved in a huge phone app opportunity where it will showcase you for an entire week with passive income. What do you mean, Tonya? I'm creating a app called Wowdable, and Wowdable is really designed to help coaches find new clients and make money the whole time. So go find out all about it at wowdable.com. WOW and then double, like incredible. So DIBLE.com. Wowdable. All right, so let's get back over to Kara. So Kara, I know you're an expert in communications, really authentic communication. What is that all about?
Yeah, so essentially I've been working in the field of conflict management for over 10 years. I've worked with businesses. My specialty is workplace conflict. And over the years, I noticed that, of course, that there's a gap in communication in both our personal and professional lives.
Right. Do you find that a lot of times it's kind of personality driven? Because I know my husband talks different language than I talk, and then we're like, what are you saying?
Yeah, well, is the perfect question. Actually, one of the courses that I teach at the University of Alberta in the School of Business is around communication. And we look at what I call different lenses. So that can be personality, culture, generation, even, there's some studies around gender-based communication. That's a controversial topic, but exactly, you got it, Tonya, that we speak based on different preferences and who we are. So it's when we're communicating, it's all about tailoring our messages to who we're talking to.
Yeah, I know when I help my clients, who people are like, I want to be a speaker. One of the things that shocks them is they think that they need to elevate their speaking to this, amazing professional level. When I'm like, no. Talk to the audience as if they're in 5th grade or they're my 90-year-old grandfather. And that way they understand you, right?
Sure. Yeah. And there's the language, right? It needs to be a language that everyone understands and that everyone gets. And when you say, I heard underneath what you were saying that people want to be polished and they want to look professional. And that's common for our everyday communication and communication on stage. But really what people are looking for is to get to know us, like to see our passion and to feel our energy. And it's not about using big words and speaking perfectly. It's about connection.
Yeah, it's funny to me how I use certain words and they just, things that I love, like yippee and, fabulousness. And so the other day, a lady was like, oh, I heard another person use yippee. Like it's my word. No one else can use
it. Your proprietary language.
And to me, it's just about being authentically me, because I used to be like, oh, I need to speak this way. And it wasn't me. And you could feel it wasn't me, right?
Well, and there's people who feel pressured to speak a certain way at work or to speak a certain way even with their spouse or with a family member. So sometimes people put expectations, I would say, on themselves according to how they're going to speak. So the speaking style or the type of even relationship they want to create. Like some people think that they need to create a very almost guarded relationship with their manager. And, at the end of the day, whatever relationship that we're creating, it's important that it be real, right? That when we have those expectations that we put on ourselves, it creates a barrier from creating that authentic connection.
Is there a way for people to kind of break through that mindset that there's this specific way of approaching a conversation, or to kind of look at themselves and say, this is really the way I should be speaking?
I would say read my book. Or at least, the thing about my books, I always say, some people like to read a book front to back. Some people, a chapter jumps out. Or sometimes, you know what, you can pick up a book and a few pages will make all the difference in the world. So when I say read my book, pick it up and, and read what speaks to you. But yeah, really, and the way I describe it, Tonya, is working from the inside out. So whether it's my book or someone else's book, I really believe in reflection and self-awareness so that we're heightening our communication, but from the inside out.
Yes. When you say from the inside out, are you talking about figuring out what your core values are and who your core and what I'm trying to say?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It does sound a bit cliche, inside out. So what I mean is, for instance, confidence, right? That's something that in our communication, we want to demonstrate confidence. So we can watch YouTube videos around establishing eye contact and our posture and smiling. And those are all really important. And at the end of the day, what I mean by inside out is we're going to smile more in our communication when we're happy in our life, like truly happy in our life. That will shine through in our eyes, in our, in our gestures, in our smile. And so, for instance, confidence, it's like, okay, if I'm not feeling confident in certain situations or in life in general or in my physical body, what's that all about? And how can I dig into that so that then, I'm working on that from the inside out, creating happiness in my life so that shines in who I am with other people and how I present myself.
I can totally relate to that. In 2005, when I was such an introvert, and I know people are like, whatever, you're an introvert. Oh, I'll show you, everyone. So this was me in 2005. And this was me, ladies, holiday gala. Okay, this is what I wore to a gala. Yeah, it's pretty bad. So I had to, because I was quiet and shy, and of course then no one really wanted to do business with me. And I was like, I don't get it. I've got this great product and service that I can really help with people. But then I started realizing that the people that everyone gravitated to, people could hear just at a networking group. I'm like, no one can hear me. And so the first step was just like, hello, I'm Tonya Hofmann, and suddenly people were like, oh, there's someone there,
Yeah, I love that example, because what you're talking about is emotional intelligence, right? So you recognized that there was a part of you, and yes, that's who you had been, and you worked to shift it. I mean, I'm sometimes that can shift a little bit overnight, and it also takes time, right? So emotional intelligence is all about, if there's sometimes people need to tone it down. So everyone's different, right? But that example. Thank you for that picture.
I know people just don't, they see you today, they don't see your journey, right? They see Kara today and they're like, oh my gosh, she's amazing. But they don't see the journey that you've been on.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. We all have those pictures that are on the shelf. We don't always display.
I found that picture in a drawer a few years back when I was starting to become a speaker. And at first I was like, oh my gosh, what was my hair? Oh my God. And it brought back so many memories. And I'm like, oh, this would be, and I was going to throw it away, right? And because it was like horrible. And I was like, oh, I could use this picture. Because it's communicating something, right?
Yes.
It really tells people a story.
Exactly. I love it. And I love that about you. We had just a fantastic conversation on the phone a couple weeks ago, and you're so real, and people feel that. I mean, just your transparency and your honesty and more than anything, what I could feel in our phone conversation with you is that you really care about people. And that's so clear in everything you do, your event coming up in London. And people feel that. I mean, people want to know that you really care about them. It doesn't matter whether you're a public speaker or you're an engineer or you're an accountant or whatever your profession is. Really, at the end of the day, everyone just wants to know you care, which is, I love that about you. So
Yeah, and I always, I love that. Thank you for that, because to me, it's also about who you surround yourself. So if you're communicating right to the people around you that you're a certain type of person, you should be able to draw those people to you and push away the ones that don't fit. So for me, it's the transactional people that they just want the money. They don't really care what they have to do to get it. Just are my peeps. The people who want money because they want to change lives in the process. Those are my peeps.
Well, and I love that. I mean, there's an element in anything we do of transaction, right? Even with our kids, with our spouse, with our mom, with our dad, our brothers and sisters, our clients, and it's more than that. My aunt said to me a few years ago, she's just such a cool person. She said, "Wouldn't it be?" She was talking about a friend of hers and how her friend is always so generous, and then she's always thinking about how she can give to her friend, and it keeps going around and around, right? And Dr. Sean Duperrin talks about that as the cycle of reciprocity. And she said, "Wouldn't it be amazing if all our relationships and all our lives were like that?" And so, even when we talk about communication, that's the part that I mean in terms of inside out, because you can communicate or try to communicate generosity till the cows come home. But at the end of the day, it's how you interact with people and the action that really matters. So yeah, people feel that. Absolutely.
Love it, love it, love it. So I know we talked a little bit about your book, and you've got like a really cool where people can download a couple chapters and, kind of test drive while you're getting it all ready, right?
Yes, thank you. So on my website, karaderringer.com, and do you want me to spell that out, or?
That's probably a good idea.
Okay. Speaking of communication, so it's KARAD as in Delta, ERING as in George, ER.com, karaderringer.com. And yeah, I'm often changing the chapters that I'm giving away. So I have a first book, Chill, a second book, Chica, and the new book, Chirp. So whenever you go onto the website, you're going to get a sneak peek of a book. And that's my gift to you, for you to check out the work, take that and leave it, or there's links on there to Amazon so that you can order whatever book or books call to you. My books are other people's books.
Awesome. I love your titles. They're like so awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So yeah, go get her books. I mean, that's what I love. There's so much information, and sometimes there's a little bit of info overload. So you find someone that you really resonate with, and you just dive into their world. And books are a great way to really kind of experience somebody and kind of get a lot of information in a very short amount of time. So that's awesome.
And I tell a lot of personal stories in my book. So people sometimes say they feel like they're reading my diary or my journal. So if you're looking for, some juicy personal examples and hopefully just a really light bedside read, or, a book to put at the side of your desk, then absolutely, that's what I aim for. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, we love the easy ones. I have a friend that I love her to death, but she's a professor, and everything talks as if you're trying to take a course, and you're like, ugh.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny you say that, because I actually wrote this third book, Chirp, because for the course that I teach at the university, I've been looking for a good, real, practical book for years. And of course, I had certain things I wanted to say that I just couldn't find in another book, so I had to write one.
Go.
Yeah.
I love that. You can't find it, do it. That's why I created the Public Speakers Association. I didn't find it, so I went and created it.
Exactly.
Oh, love it, love it, love it. All right, everyone. So go to Karen Derringer with an A. So D-A-R, right?
D-E-R.
D-E-R. See,
there you go.
This is good. So Derringer, and that way you can grab her books and check out the free little sample one, but get connected to her so that, it's not just, oh, I'm going to, kind of follow her on social media, but you actually have conversations with her, especially if you're looking for a speaker or someone that you want to bring in, do some training for your company or just for your organization or just for yourself. We all need the help. So just reach out and say hello to her. So awesome. Thank you, Kara. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. This has been so fun. I just, anytime you want to chat on YouTube, Tonya, or on the phone, you just give me a call.
Love it. Yeah, anytime. I'm always up for that. All righty, everybody. So remember, go to thewildable.com to check out the phone app. And then we have about 2 hours left of speaking opportunity time at the Public Speakers Conference in London, England, not London, Kentucky. So if you're wanting to become an international speaker overnight, or maybe you're in London, you want to be connected to all the US people coming over who put on their own conferences, go check it out at publicspeakersconference.com. All righty, let's have some fun. Go out there, change some lives, do something amazing for yourself, and let's just have some fun. So thanks, everybody. Take care. Bye, everybody.